Hello and welcome back to actual sunlight. Leave the apartment? Yeah. I guess we should. Do you want to save your game? Yeah, please. Take the elevator to the street. Oh, look at all these fantasy people. Coffee cart. Everwinter. Do you understand that? In many ways, you're very fortunate. What do you mean? You've had access to education and security. You're a white male. There's a great deal of privilege intertwined with nearly everything about... Shit the fuck off. Just fuck off, really? Fuck off with that white privilege bullshit. I don't know. I feel an awful lot like a mother of that club in name and sight only. I don't have some friend with a cottage. I've never participated in any mud-based fitness challenges, and there are no adorable blondes meeting me for blind dates at ironic board game cafes. Those aren't the types of advantages I'm talking about. I know. But they are types of advantages that education and security make worth having in the first place. And not really, man. Choose the simple life. Simple things in life are a lot easier. Talk to people every day, you'll make acquaintances, you'll get to know them a lot better, you'll make a lot more friends that way, man. I used to have a lot of the same thinking this guy does. Aren't they? What would even change if I lived some kind of cart life for $7 an hour? What do you think? Think I would just mean being openly rejected by the types of people who only pretend to accept me now? Seriously, man, you never know unless you just keep at it. That isn't worth something? All I'm talking about is something, but not being a part of it. Coffee? Fruit? Thanks. Have a great day. Please read this if you are a young person, by Will O'Neill. If you have any fear about putting this project out, it's that somebody who is in the midst of a difficult time growing up will see this game and think that it applies to them. I'm not going to say that I was not like you. A lot like you. I probably was. I've struggled with feelings of anger and depression since I was very young. No more than 12 or 13 years old. I don't need to get into what the problems both causing and caused by this were and still are. I think the things that happen in this game make them pretty clear. It's also pretty clear where all this is heading. But listen, the fact that you are young means in and of itself that you still have a lot to change things. That doesn't mean you're going to get everything you want, but I promise that you can do a lot better than you will if you give a... I'm sorry, I said that. But listen, the fact that you are young means in and of itself that you still have a lot of time to change things. That doesn't mean you're going to get everything you want, but I promise you can do a lot better than you will if you give yourself over to despair. It's when you get into your late 20s and early 30s, like the protagonist of this game, and like me, that a lot of the choices you made earlier can start to come seriously into play. A lot of doors can begin to close, a lot of things start to go on without you. I've been the way that I am my entire life, but let me tell you something. It's different now. And I'm seeing more and more how things will only get even more difficult over even more time. In the end, that's what this game is about. An end game. Somebody whose pain has slowly risen in excess of their ability to deal with it. Somebody whose options have become totally disconnected from fantasies and regrets that they can't turn away from. This game is not a game, it's a portrait. I've created it to document something that I think is human, and beautiful, and real. And if you appreciate that, great. That's what art is. But don't get it twisted. It's about a 30-something corporate dead-ender with no youthful energy. No people his own age who haven't moved on in life that he can turn to with no time or money left to change or do any of those things. I don't care how fucked up you think your life is. If you aren't at least 25, that ain't you. So don't you fucking dare. Oh, they don't say anything. You don't even talk. I just walked into that kid. That kid's just jumping into me. How about you, Mr. Black-haired Greenman? My career passion is not to be a stabbed homeless guy, by Evan Winter, uncertified life coach. When you sit down to do your daily 1-hour personal career goal, timeout, focus, affirmation session, what amps you to the max? What motivates and engages you to take it to the next level? I mean, we'd all like to imagine the possibility of prosperity for everyone, or at least everyone with our ethnicity with a similar educational background, but some people are winners, whereas others are merely honest. In the past, it was relevant for people to look at their professional arc a lot differently. What's your 5-year plan? What's your 10-year plan? What type of commute or living environment really meets your personal needs? What sort of retirement situation are you envisioning? And how would you like to see your defined benefit pension plan invested? Today, however, the good news is that none of these questions matter. Today, it is simply sufficient to ask yourself if you would or would not, if you would or would rather not drink yourself to sleep on a vent every night. Nobody likes a 2-hour commute, but would you rather walk 17 blocks in the dead of winter for a cup of soup? Nobody appreciates the inability to visit the dentist, but would you rather get your teeth clubbed out by a disgruntled police officer? And the people on top, they wonder how they ever lost this plot to begin with. Why do we ever give anyone anything, they say? Why didn't we just ask them if anything... why didn't we just ask them if they'd rather be stabbed homeless guy? I don't know what to say, but I don't want to give him something. Thanks, pal. You got a smoke? No. Sorry, man. So, where am I going? No, not yet. I actually want to check out the ATM. Reason transaction, checking debit, savings, credit card, display all balances. Display all balances, please. Checking balance, almost $3,000. Savings balance, $0. Lock balance, $3,496.21. No payment overdue. Credit card balance, $6,349.21. Note payment overdue. The security of Canadians is our first concern. Change your PIN today. Can I change my PIN? Holy shit. Alright. Present. Alright. Spent $200 at Grocery Mart on the 2nd. That seems average for about a week's worth of groceries. The breakfast counter, $10. Oh, hold on. Why are you going out if you spent $200 on groceries? Why the fuck did you spend $95 at the pub? He stares straight ahead. That's not creepy at all. Hey, excuse me. All strangers are entrepreneurs, by Evan Winters. Hi. I noticed that you made eye contact with me for half a second, and then immediately regretted it. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm a fucking asshole. I'm disgusting. Do I want to talk to you because I sincerely cherish a genuine sense of community and goodwill towards men? Nope. I'm an absolute loser, bothering one stranger after another in awkward revelation of my own failure. I'm looking for somebody to become my own downline in a multi-level marketing scheme. I think you ought to change religions. I'm one of those charity people who used to wear an apron as so people would know to avoid me. I want to ask you out to coffee. I'll rub your shoulders while the dirty sleeves of my jean jacket infect your pores, and then try to have sex with you before you realize that I'm unemployed. I'm that legitimately horrible and sad person that you could one day be like. The one a dumb story happened to. The one who got a DUI. And then they found weed in my car plus the money I stole from work. My family is dead and I have no friends and I'm desperate for anybody to talk to. Even though I have nothing to say and I know that nobody likes me, or maybe you would like me, but you don't want to know, I'm that weird, bitter asshole who barks at cashiers and hits on waitresses and holds up the universe. But I am a human being, and there is nothing I can do to make God stop loving me. Everywhere I go, I tell the few people who can barely stand me the same exact thing, that everyone is just way too uptight about talking to strangers, even though I am exactly the reason that absolutely nobody wants to. Then I say, chill out, or something other extremely dated piece of slang that solidifies me as even more creepy. This is when you realize that I'm trying to look at your boobs, or your shoes, or that I don't even have the confidence to meet your eye line, or some type of instinct dawns on you that says, hey, your shoelace is untied. Oh, thanks. Yeah, we'll turn on our headphones and wait. Ooh, nice music. What is this? The break room? Jackie! Oh, I'm sorry. There's somebody I work with. She's sick. It's the kind of sick that doesn't quite get you on disability. It just fucks with you dead in the middle of being able to have a job, but not able to be any good at it. She misses a lot of work from medical appointments. Is that still what you're calling them? All I've ever seen is somebody wait for 2 hours, wait another 6 hours for a test, and then wait another 3 hours to find out it was inconclusive. Where's the medicine? Where's the appointment? You're upset about this? I want to point out that grammatically speaking, you forgot the question mark, but other than that, I really do like the writing in this game. Most people are upset about this. No, I mean you're upset about it in a way that you usually aren't. You care about this person. And the story isn't noise, it's different. You were there. She was alone. I was around. You really feel that way about it? I was in a situation where using to help somebody would have made me very bad, but it doesn't make me very good. And the last thing I want is to end up even more involved in it. Right. Except now you know that it might matter if you aren't. I'm fine. I know. I'll be out later. Is there a meeting in here? I don't think so. I'll check. No, don't. I just need a minute. Hold on there, Jackie. Just hold on. Ooh, come on, dude. Recycling. An oversized recycling bin of chart paper. By Evan Winter. A few years ago, the bosses went to a 3-day, $5,000 leadership seminar and came back convinced that the reason the company wasn't growing was because people weren't collaborative enough. Accordingly, with no collaboration, it was determined that everything anyone said in a meeting had to be not only written down, but written down such that arrows could jut out of it, allowing any free associations about it to be captured as well. Excuse me. This policy lasted for precisely one meeting. After which time the walls of the room were covered from floor to ceiling with graph paper containing what appeared to be an indecipherable corporate thought of a mental hospital. The paper was then torn down and placed into this bin, where it remains to this day. The financial problems that the company had been having would later be linked to excessive overhead in the area of leadership development. Of course, this leadership development was never recorded as compensation, and this, among other things, were not factored into the deeply disappointing salaries the owners were then forced to draw for that year. Salaries which, of course, were ample evidence of the totally impossibility of providing any employees with bonuses or raises. And yet, to be honest, the story gives me a good feeling. Because I know that nothing this fucked up can go on forever. You're right, man. This poster... Fuck, I wanted to look at the poster. There isn't much to say about what I do for a living. Just like everybody else. Do we work in marketing, in finance, for the government, for the people, for the good, for evil? Doesn't matter. No matter what. If we can make money off it. You ask us if we can do it, we say, yeah. If you ask if what we do is effective, the middle managers who hired us, whose job security depends on us having been effective, will tell you, yeah. If you ask us if what we do is important, we'll point you in the direction of the media channel that makes a living off of reporting on your industry, and they will say, yes. Lie that everybody can pay their mortgage with becomes the truth faster than you would believe. But in the end, really just a bunch of white people pushing piles of money around in circles, while reality occurs in parts unknown. We go to conferences, and the maids break their backs cleaning our hotel rooms. We eat at restaurants while the cooks trip and immolate each in blistering oil. Janitors have heart attacks buffing floors on a graveyard shift for 30 years, and all this for what? Networking, best practices, leadership. But we don't let anyone into the network. We don't practice anything. We don't lead anyone anywhere but someplace fucked up. We get paid, and they get dick. And everyone goes home and does their job the same way anyways. Exactly whatever some boss wants. So who are we? What do we do here? We send emails. We go to meetings. We hope to one day get high enough to become invincible. And to be rewarded, even when we fuck everybody and everything up. Sometimes I think I can go my whole career without doing a single useful material thing. History sweeper eclipsed my social utility the day we picked up a piece of gum. Poster. This is a poster with an internet meme from 2 or 3 years ago. I think the owners put it up just to make us seem tech savvy. But all that really signals is the fact that we don't know when something is over. I take it, yeah, that's my desk. I don't want to go to my desk. Russell! This is Russell. He's like a less successful version of my brother. Whereas my brother gets paid handsomely to do basically nothing and can hire all the lawyers and accountants in the world to defend it. Russell has mastered the limited middle-aged class version of this, being a psychophantic little shithead. He works from home so much that he doesn't even bother having a desk anymore. In fact, he only shows up at the office to watch sports highlights on the plasma screen that we bought to facilitate better team collaboration. He's the kind of person whose enthusiasm is so facile and transparent that everything he says feels like an insult. That everything he says to you feels like an insult to your intelligence. Assuming you have any. When it's all over, Everyone who actually does anything has been completely outsourced. The rest of the world will be the last man standing in the corporate megaverse. They'll be on the conference calls to their bosses in China, going on about how everything is going great. Just great! Except for the following people who have really let them down. Yeah, they're just really not hitting it. They're not getting it. I'm just looking at this stuff and... Geez, I don't know. It's just not right. But what do you guys think? What's up, bro? Nothing, man. Hey, can you ask your brother if he's interested in that thing I told him about? What thing? Trust me, Bo. He'll know what I mean. It's an amazing opportunity. Cool. I haven't seen him in a while, but I'll let him know. Fuck. Alright. Fuck you, Russell. You seem like a cunt. For Paula Young, Senior Partner, Chairwoman. To all staff, my resignation. Live for your dreams. Priority high. Dearest employees, it is with a bittersweet mixture of joy and sadness that I must announce my divestment and resignation from the company, effective immediately. While I would have preferred to be available to help with the numerous surprise obstacles that will be present, the timing of my departure coincided with the existing travel plans that could not have been changed without putting my elite passenger status on Air Canada at risk. When I began my career as an employee at the agency similar to ours over 15 years ago, things were much more difficult. All of my peers seemed to question my opinions, dismissed my ideas, and even make faces at me as if I was some kind of stupid idiot. For me, the meaning of this was clear. I was much more capable, creative, and out of the box than everybody around me. A true maverick. With the agreement of my husband and his financial support, I founded this organization. The point of the story is clear. You got to live your values. You've got to choose the life that you want to live and make it happen, just like I did. I've often asked myself, why all of you seem to be so stressed out and miserable, as if some horrifically ignorant force, oblivious to its own recklessness, is compelling you to do something that don't make any sense. Someday, I hope you'll realize that you can do whatever you want. Just have to go for it. The next chapter in my life, for example, will be through a line of motivational handbags that I... Is there an extra stapler in there? I can't find my stapler. Sorry, man. I'm not touching any of this shit. From Roy Parsons, President and CEO, to Sender. Vacation alert. Please note that I will be out of the office for this week, Monday through Thursday inclusive. If you are writing about the numerous large projects that have key deliverables due on Friday afternoon, please note that my calendar on Friday morning is limited due to a networking jog brunch. If you are a client, please rest assured that I will curiously review your work 10 minutes before you are supposed to have it. Blame others for my total lack of context regarding what it even is, and ask if it will be completely restarted and refinished in a matter of hours regardless of the merit or necessity of my proposed improvements to it. I bought my job and I am a clown. In my bottom desk drawer, though, is a god-awful television pilot I wrote about how I am a genius who brings a magical finishing touches to all the work and completely overjoyed to bask in my creative glory despite my near continuous absence, my petulant childishness, and my total lack of solidarity with the people I am supposed to be leading. There's a scene where a beautiful 22-year-old graphic designer intern tells me how artistically inspired she was by the mixtape I gave her of all my favorite bands, including the one I used to play in. I seriously have no idea how fucking retarded I am. Very truly, Roy Parsons, President, CEO, Chief Creative Officer, CEO, CCO, ideas guy. That sounds like a terrible fucking email. Trash! The well-informed and worthwhile opinions that fill the trash can on agencies around the world. By Evan Winter. I like the idea of having statements that specifically talk about the impact of our product has on customers. But how are we really telling our brand story? This still image of an inanimate object really needs to have a stronger sense of movement throughout. This line of meaningless rhetoric and this thing that is fundamentally about absolutely nothing really isn't adding any value. Saw this thing last night in the middle of a movie and I loved it. Things should be just as good. Because even though our budget is a 16th of what it took to create that, I can still remember a time when it was only half. Okay, here's the deal. I don't like this thing. I don't have any real reason for disliking it. I just like it in the way that certain people don't like pickles. Or reggae. It's just idle preference. I don't go to school for marketing and advertising or designing or writing or anything like that. I just got a job at a corporation and one day they decided to shelve me here because they figured at least there was a hard limit to how much damage I could do. Another possibility is that I'm actually very intelligent. But I'm wrong. But I am the wrong gender or ethnicity. And I needed to be put somewhere prominent, but ultimately harmless. Either way, I've either come to not care about my actions. I either come to not care that my actions are devoid of any rational or even more dangerously, I believe that my intuitions represent some sort of natural capability. I've either always been like this or consequently started my own company because I was incapable of working for someone else, or it happened to me after being promoted to a level high enough that people just stop bothering to disagree with you. So just not sure about the blue. Okay, so Jackie, Russell, Troy! I have to come back in 5. Just getting ready for our call. I don't even know why I'm standing here. Where did I put that proposal? I just had it. It was right here last night. I don't have time to look for it. Tasha, I need another copy of the proposal printed out. Please and thank you. I'm busy. Is Jackie here then? I need it for my call. I don't know why I don't have it. It was literally sitting here last night. This is Troy. Nobody likes Troy, including me. But I feel for him. He's married, late 40s or so. Commutes 2 hours from the deep suburbs every day and works on weekends all the time. Can't even imagine the last time he saw the house he spends every day and paying for in the actual sunlight. 3 kids, wife doesn't work. Even though he's the most experienced and senior person here, there's always a palpable sense in the air. They would be the first person to wipe down the urinals if the owner asked him to. Think about what he might have been like as a younger guy at his wedding. One of those things that make you feel like the future has a future.